My greetings to you, good fellows out there. There are issues that somehow touch my heart that I would like to stress on. It's mainly regarding today's current, so much of the rumor and the new movement of which has always been the pattern which most Christians depend on to sort of recruit people into the foundation. The idea of saying that the world is coming to an end. The world is coming to an end, and sort of frightening people with this death thing and all that, and trying people to sort of rattle into the foundation. And it's been something that has been done most of the time. And there's no sense of agency or anything for people to feel frightened of, to my view. The world as we live in is a world that we consider the earth to be a world. That's if we are narrowing our view of what the world is. The world is a whole big universe. There are other planets as well. So if the rich people have been able to, or some sort of technology has come up to the way of caring for everyone, and a means is devised to sort of evacuate everybody if it comes to that, then it's a good thing, which that's what everybody will wish for, not necessarily picking just a few people and saving them to the moon or whatever, a safe planet or a safe heaven. These are the physical way of speaking. But there are others who use the spiritual means to sort of try to make people feel frightened and say that, okay, if you die, then you have a place where you'll be going, which they use that to sort of, for their own means of gaining as much as they want to gain, because people will come into the foundation and contribute. It's just ridiculous, but that's the unfortunate thing that happened. And death itself is an unfortunate thing that it happens to us. But as I said, ending of things is just normal. People end people's life get ended. Foundations get ended. You can be trusting your car and it sort of broke down one way or the other. So since the earth is hanging in there, I believe that it's possible that such things of ending can happen. They have even mountains erupting, volcanic eruptions taking place. This earth is round and hanging in there, and it's got its own life in it, that somehow anything could happen to it. Nobody anticipates that. I don't anticipate that. But that can happen, but it is not something that one should take advantage of and use to sort of put people in a very frightening state. So I look at it that's something which a propaganda which should not be focused upon, or people should not get the attention drawn into that. It works for the evangelism, fine, so be it. So be it for them. But in general, that's my view, and it's just simple as that. But also, I want to stress on the idea of death itself should not be something that should frighten people. Some people also use death as a means of saying that, okay, there's people die because of their sin, because as we say in the religious grounds, they are easily looking at it from a different perspective, that human beings are sinners, we've sinned, we've done something wrong. Some of the things may be prostitution, maybe, excuse me to say prostitution, or let's say stealing, or let's say lying, or so many things as in whatever religion that you are into, it shows. I mean, in this case of rapture and all that, we are thinking of the Christian side, which Christianity have depended on that. And the books explicitly open up on that subject of sin, which it sees it as people being wrong and doing all those things, So if they do that, then the world has to come to an end, and a religious man will go into his room and all they do to pray that this beautiful world will come to an end, and then their God, or the God they worship, will take over in disregarding so many things that are very much key fact when it comes to faith. They just go along this way because at this moment the instant gaining is what they care about, or they might be looking on to that, and maybe because they are fanatics in certain ways, or they are so possessed with their religion or whatever they might believe in at that time or at this time. But looking at it carefully, I mean, it does not really have a solid basis of foundation of facts which one should so much be caught up into that situation. The world is a big place, and either it's going to end or not, it doesn't give anybody that right to sort of take advantage of that and mislead people into some sort of situation. We already anticipate that in our life every day, every time. I'm sure people do. There are some inventions that are making preparation to sort of help people, that is those who can afford. But if it comes to the point where things like that will be done not based on affordability, because there are people who have got, others haven't got, because everybody is quite important in this life, and means will be made where everybody, measures will be taken where everybody will be saved in case this world comes to an end. Then that would be a good thing or a good idea. Death, as I want to stress again, death isn't something, it's the main thing that is being used here. But death should not be, because if the world comes to an end, it means that we all die, isn't it? So death shouldn't be something that frightens or should frighten us. Anything can end, the world can end. Anything does end, one way or the other. That's what evidently we are clear of, But we shouldn't be, because of that, we see ourselves procreating and always filling the earth and things going on. As we said, there's not just one planet. There are there's so many planets that we have discovered. So why should we think of, everything coming to an end because of just, some rumor of this world coming to an end based on this earth being destroyed? Anyway, I leave that to your own judgment. But I see that also side which the basis of which the evangelism are using to sort of pull people, rattle people into the foundation, as also the understanding, also being in the view that people are not doing the right thing, they are not being righteous in the vocabulary of righteousness. So the one thing I might long to pick on is prostitution. The word is being used. Women, use it sillily, in a silly way towards their own fellow women, which is very bad to my view, because a woman shouldn't view another woman as a prostitute. I mean, if you look at it from a realistic point of view, why should that woman be seeing herself, as seeing another woman of her own nature as a prostitute? Why should they do that? I mean, what is it that you have slept with many men, for instance, and she also is sleeping with many men for a price? You have a boyfriend for a price. Today's love, most of it for a price. Either the parents is taking something from the guy, or the woman himself is taking something from the guy for a price, because she said that you can have me for free. So if this mentality is there, and that mentality is in a prostitute, what do you think made the prostitute end up becoming a prostitute, charging a fee for having or giving a pleasure to somebody? It's based on the same thing, So it's not something that women should, should do it at ease and say that to the other women. It's not very nice for them to do that. Neither should they even allow it or allow people to say that to other women. Whatever they do it in the conscience of what we have already encouraged over time, over the days, over so many occasions. A woman will sort of feel within herself, she has to sell herself. I don't think that human being should be sold in the first place. There's no price that anybody can pay for a woman or pay for a man. So why should that be the case, that you have to ask them? Love, in a very good, very sincere approach of love, will not even require any price, But before these days and how these things ended up this way, to my view, is what was happening before, where the parents at that time, in the old times, where all these things culturally has come from, that they took it upon themselves to say that, okay, I have to, take such and such amount. Okay, if you read through the cultural or religious sense, it's always there that my daughter cannot be had for free. I have to charge you that before, take this amount or something nice before you can have my daughter. People used to put a price on their children, that's the women, before they can usher her to a man's care. And that was something that has carried on all this idea which a woman has instilled into herself, realizing that she has to have a fee, set out for her, when it comes to getting involved with a man, which I think is not really, it's not nice. It makes the woman cheap. They're not necessarily cheap in any sense, but sometimes they feel that the higher the price it makes them even worthy of something, but it is cheap and it is not right.